good morning, and we're getting back to DCS Mission Editor again. I did a previous tutorial on just how to build a basic mission, just some of the general tools for newcomers, folks that have never used Mission Editor before. We did a few simple triggers. Today we're going to get into a little bit of scripting. We'll show you how to use CTLD and CSAR scripts, how to get those loaded up. It's actually really simple, and it opens up a lot of possibilities for mission building. You could really use the guys that like to fly helicopters. They can build SAM sites, deploy troops, rescue downed pilots. It really makes it a lot of fun. The tools, the things we'll need. First off, you're going to need Notepad++, or something similar. We're going to be using Lua files, and you need a method to download that, or excuse me, to edit that. Notepad++ is a free download. Second, if you come to the ED Forums, World Topics, and Mission Editor discussion and questions, a lot of stickies here, a lot of good resources. You need MIST, Mission Scripting Tools, the download for the latest version right here. And then also I'm using the CTLD script, which you can download right here. And then I grabbed the CSAR script somewhere. I'm sure if you search you'll end up finding it. Once you have those downloaded, you'll need a folder somewhere in your PC that you can remember where it's at, where you could come and get these. Here's the CSAR Lua, CTLD Lua, and then the latest version of MIST is right here. So you'll need a place that you can reliably come back to find those from within the editor. That said, let's go ahead and fire up the DCS, and we'll get to it. Okay, we're back here in Mission Editor. I already made this mission. I've named everything. I want to keep it as short as I can, so you guys aren't sitting here all day. First things first, CTLD. What's required is a warehouse. Okay, warehouse is right here under the static objects, category warehouses, and there's 5 to choose from. Okay, I just chose the basic warehouse. And naming is very important. So this will make sense later once we open the script itself. But right now you name it Logistic 1. There's no space. All lowercase and number 1. Okay, that is to be able to spawn crates, like air defense crates, and ground vehicles, ground forces. Alright, next thing we want to do is make a pick zone. This is where we will pick up our troops. And that is a simple trigger zone. Excuse me, trigger zone right here. Place it there, and we name it Pick Zone 1. All lowercase, no space, just Pick Zone 1. And I changed the radius to 200 feet so that we can pick up troops anywhere within this zone. The same way that we have a radius to pick up troops from, the warehouse will also have its own radius, and you could change that value in the script. But I put the pick zone right in front here with 200 foot because I want to be able to pick both the crates and troops up from this area, from this little pad. I also took these little mark flags. They're under the structures, the static objects and structures category. And I just put them across the ramp here so that we have a real defined area for the helicopters to land. If you're landing in the middle of a field with no visible boundaries, if a helicopter landed out here, he wouldn't be able to pick up crates. But if you put flags all the way around the pick zone circle, then you'll know exactly where to pick things up. The next thing we need to talk about are the helicopters and naming them. So I placed a single Huey just right down here. I named him UH1, and he's client flown. So player flown, and his name, all capitals, is Medevac space number 1. Okay, real important, and you'll see this in the script. And helicopters have to be individual groups. You can't have a group of 4. So if you want a second helicopter, like I have another one over here on the FARP, this guy, I named him UH1 number 2, but he is Medevac number 2. Alright, has to be very particular, just like that. Also, I figured while I was here doing this, with CTLD stuff and helicopters, it's always kind of fun to have a FARP, and to make a working FARP, I have found that these units work for me. I did this Humvee right here, unarmed, the 1025 Humvee, and then the 818 transport, and the M978 tanker. I also threw in the fuel depot and ammo depot. I don't know if those are required for sure, but again, with these here, I have found that I can land and then rearm and refuel my helicopters. So these are the basic units. That's all you really need. These were just static objects here, just for visual effect. They're not required. I put one more in over here. It's just a Harrier. He's going to come along, and I'm just going to eject the pilot into this valley so I can show you how the CSAR script works. Now, how do we do the scripts? Go to your triggers tab, and the first trigger you're going to make is missed. One time, and just name it missed. Conditions time more than 1 second, so 1 second into the mission start. This script file, you're going to do script file, and then you just open and you choose the path for your script where it's located. So 1 second in, it will run mist. Mist is always the first thing to run. Then did another one, named it CTLD, same thing, time more than 2, do script file, CTLD. Now CTLD, when you download it, it also comes with 2 beacon sounds. You need to do a sound to country and choose a country that's not with either coalition. In this case, Mexico is neutral. So sound to country, and then find beacon.ogg, and do one more, beacon silent. You need both of those in there. And then finally, the third one is one time, and in CSAR, I did time more than 3 seconds, and then do script file, CSAR. Okay, then you'll just come up, save your mission, and we'll go ahead and fly it. Actually, I should probably say that I'm not sure if saving the mission alone is what generates the scripts into the mission folder, or if flying it generates it. But regardless, I always do a fly mission first, just to make sure that if you get 5-6 seconds into the mission and you haven't had any error messages pop up, then your script's loaded fine. Once you've messed around within the script folders and you go into test, if you have an error message come up, then you probably made an error in the script itself, and you'll need to find that. But I've already tested this one and it works, so I'm going to exit Mission Editor right now, and we're going to open the scripts up. Okay, back here to the desktop, and I'm in my missions folder and script demo, and we're going to open that with WinRAR. Here we go. Here's our script, CSAR, CTLD. I'm just going to show you CTLD. I honestly don't do too much with CSAR, but you can open it up. Again, it's pretty straightforward. So here we go. The stuff over here in green is, these are just instructions for what these lines of, these script lines do. It's really pretty easy. Just read it and figure out if you want things on or off. Before I go further, I'll just say I don't have any experience with Lua. I'm not a computer programmer. I don't know how to write things like this. So if I figured out how to do it, you can. So be encouraged. Let's see. First off, disable all smoke. I'm going to leave this false, because if it's true, all smoke is disabled at pickup and drop-off locations, regardless of anything you change below. So I want to change things below and decide whether I want smoke on or off. Hover pickup, I think this defaults to true. So if it's true, then the helicopters have to hover over the crates to simulate sling loading them. You won't actually see the crates hanging from the helicopter, but they will hover over them for a certain amount of time, and then the crate will be simulated to be on board. I set this to false. If you have guys that maybe aren't very good with helicopters, it could be frustrating. So if you set false, then you could just land within the logistics area and use the F10 menu to spawn the crates. So here, sling load, false. So if it's false, crates can be used without sling loading. You could read through these. Smoke drop, true. Here's some distances. So logistic distance and move distance. These I think are deploy distance. These have to do with distances to pick up crates and deploy crates from logistics. Number of troops, how many launchers do you want with your SAM units? Do you want the helicopters to be able to build FOB, forward operating bases? Yeah, sure. How many crates does it require to do that? 3. You could pick up troops at the FOB. How long does it take to build the FOB once the crates are deployed? Default was 2 minutes. I just changed it to 20 seconds. No reason. Crate wait time. Now this one I do change. I put it to 1 second. I think it's normally 2 seconds. That's how long you have to wait before you can spawn another crate. If you don't want your helicopter pilots to be sitting around if they're being pretty quick and efficient, so I just changed it down to 1 so they could spawn multiples. Force crate to be moved. Yeah. We want it to be picked up and moved before it can be unpacked. Otherwise you'll have guys maybe, I don't know, they'll just spawn crates and then just spawn SAM systems right there. It's just kind of a mess. Beacon batteries, if something was deployed, how long would it last? You could change that here. Here you go. If you had sling loads set, then these are the parameters you would be changing. How long do they have to hover, and then the distance from the crates. JTAC, you can change smoke colors, things like that. But right down here is pick zone. Okay, these again where you're picking up your troops. You've got the name of the zone right here, name of the zone or the ship, smoke color. It's right now -1. It's unlimited smoke. Whether it's activated, which side gets the smoke, things like that. So pick zone 1, the one we created, will have blue smoke. If you wanted none, you would just type in none or change the color however you want. So yeah, again, pick zone 1. If you wanted another pick zone somewhere else, you do another trigger zone and name that one pick zone 2. Drop zone, waypoint zones, lots of stuff to play around with. Here you go, transport names. So your helicopters, you could have helicargo, medevac, medevac red, medevac blue. Again, I just chose medevac, but here you go, medevac 1, number 1, medevac space number 2. Make it exactly the same here and in the mission editor. We'll scroll on down. Here we go. Logistic 1, Logistic 2, if you wanted more of them. That's where you make those changes. There's more below. I'm not going to go through this. Well, just right here, the spawnable crates and their associated weights. So you could change, here's the Hawk system that I'm using in the video. You could change the weight down if you wanted to, or more. But that's how you do that. Again, I have already edited this, so there's nothing to save for me, but you would come up and save, X out, close your notepad, and then there would be another little pop-up window here asking if you want to save or overwrite the archive. It's something like that. Yes, you want to do that. So click yes, and then just jump back in Mission Editor and do the testing. Okay guys, welcome back. Here in the Huey, and forgive me, the crew status window, I can't get that to close today. I'm not sure what the deal is, but we'll just have to live with it. But we are at the FARP, or excuse me, at the logistics in the ramp. You can see there's all the little red flags that we have. The blue smokes shows that we're in the pick zone, so everything has loaded correctly. Didn't get any kind of error messages or whatnot. Let's go ahead and spawn some crates. We'll go up to CTLD commands and let's do Hawk Launcher. I'm going to show you how you just spawn them all one on top of each other. And we'll just do PCP. There we go. 4 of those. I don't think we'll need the repair for today. But yeah, they all spawn just right on top of each other. Before we leave, we're also in the pick zone, so let's do troop transport and let's load some anti-air. Now it says the troops have been loaded. We don't see them load. They're not outside, but once we land and deploy them, you'll see them run out from the helicopter. Alright, I'm going to pick up a crate. Let's load the nearby crate, and it just shows that one. Yeah, that's super realistic. But excuse my flying. We're going to go ahead and run and drop this somewhere, and we'll build up our SAM site. Alright, we'll set this guy down right here. Actually, let's not put him by the runway. Alright, parent menu. And now we want CTLD commands, and we're going to drop the crate. There we go. Now I'm going to rinse and repeat. I'm going to go pick up the rest, and I'll get back to you here in a little bit. Alright, last crate is on board. Alright, last crate's here. We'll go ahead and drop it next to the others. They don't need to be in any particular order. Let's go to other CTLD commands, and we're going to drop the crate. I do want to move back just a little bit so that things don't spawn right into me and blow me up. Alright, and we'll go to other CTLD commands, and we're going to unpack. I'm glad that I did this here. Can't unpack that here, take it to where it's needed. So I didn't take it far enough away from the logistics over there. So I'm going to have to move those real quick, and we'll do this again. Alright, got the last crate on board. Let's go drop it off. Hopefully they are far enough away now. That's something that you could change within the script, how far away from the warehouse, from logistics to spawn. So yeah, I just have to go around and tinker with some of those options. So yeah, hopefully this will be far enough away. Alright, let's try this one more time. CTLD commands, we're going to drop the crate. And yeah, I'm going to move away just a little bit more. There we go. And now we will try to unpack it. There we go. Functioning Hawk SAM site. It'll shoot down any planes coming in. And you could bring, I believe, ammo trucks over, the PCP, the Hawk PCP, or excuse me, Hawk repair crate, to rearm, fix them. Honestly, I'm not even 100% sure everything that does work. I've heard a lot of conflicting input on that, but yeah, there is a Hawk site, so that's how you use CTLD to deploy the Hawk site. Now we still have those troops on board, so we'll just come over here, and I'm going to get away from the dirt. We'll deploy the troops. Alright, let's do an external view. There we go. CTLD troop transport, and let's unload. There we go. There's our troops. A few of them have stingers, and they'll take down any approaching aircraft as well. Alright, let's get out of the Huey. We're going to go to the Harrier. And I'm just going to punch out. There we go. We got Mayday, AVAB has been shot down, shoot spotted. Okay, let's go back to our Huey. Here, let's go. CSAR, active CSAR. There we go. We didn't see the message automatically pop up. Must have been a little bit late for that. But we have a Harrier pilot, Bulls 128 for 2, and then frequency of 270 for the ADF. So we could come down here, type in 270, we could tune it in and follow our ADF bearing pointer and go pick him up. But we already know he's in that valley, so we're just going to head over there and pick him up anyway. There we go, he can hear us, so we're getting close. And he's telling us to land by the smoke. There we go. Speed it up a little. Now he's still coming down in his parachute. Well, the aircraft pilot is coming down, but the spot where I ejected was right over here, so the script actually programs a guy in there on the ground, so a little funny, but that's just how it works. That message up there was just saying to, he's telling us land or hover by the smoke. We'll just land right here by the guy. Actually, he may want to jump in anyway. Let's see. Nah, we'll land. There we go, picked him up. And it says get him to the medical clinic. So that's pretty much it, everyone. A quick little intro to CTLD and CSAR scripting. It's really pretty simple, but again, it could really you can make some pretty fun missions with it. Missions that you already have, you can just load those scripts in and just make a few changes. But hope you found this helpful, and we'll see you next time.